good to have you back, I should say, if you join us here for the first time. We made a show this morning on the future of mobility, and that was centered about a piece you did here in the Seminar Theater. And we'd like to invite you back to shine your light more specifically on the in-car technology. And I'm going so fast, I'm so excited you're here. I forget to introduce you, but Carlo van der Weijer, he's the Director of Smart Mobility at the University of Technology in Eindhoven and a VP at TomTom, right? That's your role. So, in-car technologies versus all the other initiatives we see also around us, roadside, smarter panels, smarter tunnels, smarter traffic lights. What's the dynamic here?
There's a dynamic clearly floating towards in-car technology. You don't have to be a prophet to know that in the future, say 5 to 10 years, probably everybody has some kind of in-car technology that informs them about the road ahead. So everybody's quite well informed what's happening on the road, and that's a little bit of conflict with the information that's on the side of the road that might say something different. But people tend to follow an in-car advice before they look at other advice, because that's an individual advice rather than an advice that's good for the society. That's good for others, this is good for me, so they tend to follow that.
Exactly.
I'm sorry,
that was something that came up when watching and listening to this all day.
Yeah.
If I'm in a car driving and the route information starts to show me I should slow down to 70 because there's a traffic jam coming up, and that would actually reduce, well, all the stuff we talked about, right? Less pollution, better traffic flow, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I just look outside my window, and as long as I can keep my feet on the pedal, I keep driving at least 100.
Okay.
Or, well, maybe that's me as a bad driver.
You're a bad boy, yeah. You're a bit of a bad boy, yeah.
But my point is, although the advice might be you should slow down to 80, if I see nothing around me, I just see an open road.
Yeah, okay.
Why would I follow that?
Yeah, that's true. People have some trouble in following advices from the government. That's by definition. Don't shoot the messenger. That's a fact. Yeah. If the advice is very good purpose to their own needs and preferences, which an individual system knows. Same with smartphones. They know your preferences, etc. You can adapt that. Then you tend to follow that bit better, and you can compare.
Because it's personalized.
It's personalized, and if also the information gets better, people tend to follow that up also in a higher rate. So, for instance, I noticed myself that if I know that in 4 kilometers there's a traffic jam, the indicators don't tell me yet. If my navigation system tells me there's a traffic jam in 4 kilometers, then I already start
to pace yourself.
To just take it a little bit. I don't hurry myself anymore because I don't want to.
You get in a traffic jam anyway.
That's one thing, and I can very aggressively overtake somebody, but I know I'm going to meet him again in 4 kilometers. That's another thing. Yeah. But also, I don't want to use my brake lights. show my brake lights on the highway. Then you're a bad driver, to my point of view. You don't want to brake on a highway. So I tend already to lose space, and with that I'm already helping to make the traffic safer, because you also break other traffic. If only there's a few people informed there's a traffic jam ahead, they will block the total traffic. So these kind of information systems are very effective in
this kind of works like the speed control ahead, right? If a couple of them have the Flitsmeister app and they slow down, the whole traffic slows down. They do slow the rest as well,
And so there's all kind of information that you have in car that is very easily in car, because it's much cheaper if the service is in the car, then you don't have to put these signs on every part of the road, because everybody has it already. They pay for it themselves. So it's also for governments a very good trend to look what's possible and what the power is of these in-car systems.
Yeah, exactly, because we have a lot of international viewers, also people maybe involved in government. Now I'm watching this, I'm hearing about all these innovations, these current and future developments. What is a smart advice you should give me? Where should I drive my attention to?
Actually, I don't have to advise these countries that are also like emerging. We discussed this morning as well. Yeah. These emerging countries coming up, they're quite clever. They look at these opportunities before installing a very big system. There's still a lot of capacity needed as well, and you have to have certain means of trying to arrange traffic. But a very big part can be left over to the car themselves. They will be clever enough in order to inform the people adequately. Even for instance, in India, they do not even have signage at all, or just very rarely. And they say, okay, if people go to unknown territory, they have probably a decent car, and they probably also have a decent smartphone with a navigation application on it. We don't have to tell them how to drive.
Yeah, but that is a funny story, but that is a massive cost reduction, right?
It's a massive cost reduction indeed, yeah. That's true, and they can immediately jump to this new and I call it, it's more of a self-steering organism of well-informed individuals. That's what the future of traffic management is.
Yeah.
And the top-down traffic control that leads to the most optimized situation from the government, that might be in theory, but it will be very hard to do that in practice, because everybody's individually informed. So it probably will be the second best system to a theoretical system, but the theoretical system has never happened in practice. So now we can come to maybe a suboptimal system, but it's by far the best that will ever be.
Best solution out there.
And the most effective, because it works everywhere, not only when there's infrastructure installed.
Well, to round up this show on in-car technology, there's a question that has been bothering me all day about all these individual road advice, speed advice, and that is the dynamic or the system's dynamics in it. So for example, say I'm at home and I get a pre-trip advice warning me, oh, there's a traffic jam or congestion ahead, you better leave now, because otherwise you'll be late. By the fact that I'm actually leaving 10 minutes early instead of the predicted 10 minutes later, I'm actually adding to the congestion, thereby maybe enforcing the traffic jam. I mean, how...
Very interesting dynamics.
How do these models deal with this dynamic? Maybe there's a point in time where I could never make it anymore because I'm behind.
Yeah. if everybody gets the same advice
if we all start early, then
you have a block.
Yeah.
There will be, there's methods to predict that as well.
But are you saying, are the models, are we that far in the academic world where the models actually incorporate this?
We're preparing for that. Same story goes if everybody goes from A to B at the same time. You might be better to advise some people to go on a certain moment, a certain route, and other ones on other routes.
But not all of them.
So this is actually. It's always a discussion between what's best for the individual to what's best for society. Now the government always works for society, and that's rightfully so. An individual goes for its individual optimum. The service providers that are in the middle, the Googles, the TomToms, etc., they do not go for the individual. That's the mistake often made. Yep. They go for the average individual that they serve. So they also do not want to send everybody through a very narrow street, because they know at a certain moment they're blocking that street and do not help their customers. So the benefit of the average individual is very close to the benefit of society, and there's not a very big difference to what the government and these service providers want.
Exactly. Well, maybe a final peek behind the curtain. Are you saying that these navigation companies like TomTom or Google, these algorithms, actually are aware of the current itineraries already in the system and diverse by that?
No, there's a lot of cleverness. We do already prediction in the routing algorithms,
but do you also adjust your...
But this, as we say, this crowd navigation, that's something in research phase, because before that we have to sell a couple of million more TomToms. So as soon as we reach that problem that we have sold maybe a billion more TomToms, then we reach that installation grade, and then you achieve this problem.
And then it could go like
But we are very positive about the future, so we think we better prepare for that. But it is still in the science, in the research phase.
All right. Good. Nice to know.
Companies probably do that,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that actually gives us a lookout to come back here in 2 years and see whether that is already there, right?
Yes, please.
All right. Carlo, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the show.
Good luck.